Marina Mabrey. Remember she was making fun when Dejanay poked Caitlin Clark and I remember she was doing
Marina Money Mabrey requesting a trade from the Connecticut Sun.
Ever witnessed karma strike at the perfect moment? Marina Mabrey is now dealing with the fallout after she once dismissed Dejanay Carrington's lighthearted eye poke toward Caitlin Clark last season. But now, with Connecticut back in the spotlight, everything has come full circle, and this time, the payback hits a lot harder.
In the world? What in the world? They just left me holding the bag. They got me, they left me. They left me, and I am just holding the bag. I'm sitting here. I wanted to trade from the Chicago Sky to the Connecticut Sun because I said I wanted to be on a championship style team, right? That's what I wanted, right? But now, we see
as Caitlin Clark continues to dominate and the Indiana Fever stack up elite new talent, Marina's desperate push to switch teams is starting to backfire. What once looked like a smart move is now turning into the ultimate case of irony, where the outcome couldn't be more satisfying. Get ready, because this story is packed with twists, drama, and a perfect dose of payback.
I don't even know why I would intend to hit anybody in the eye. That doesn't even make sense to me, but no, I didn't. I didn't know I hit her.
Marina Mabrey is now experiencing the backlash from last season, and the twist of fate couldn't be more ironic. Picture this, a moment fans still talk about to this day. Marina was seen laughing as Dejanay Carrington jokingly poked Caitlin Clark in the eye, a scene that quickly made waves everywhere.
Set in freaking Uncasville, Connecticut. The Connecticut Sun is no more. Ever since everybody and their mama, including the head coach, the former head coach being Stephanie White, ever since everybody and their mama jumped ship, I said it is over with. They have lost all their talent. And now, guys, it's breaking news. Marina Mabrey has said, you know what? She looked to her right. Hold on. She looked to her right. She looked to her left. She said, I can't.
That's right. Marina's laughter echoed through the arena during a moment that probably should have left her stunned. But now, the story has completely turned, delivering a perfect dose of poetic justice. Meanwhile, the Connecticut Sun, her former team, seemed to be moving in a different direction, focusing on a roster built around chemistry, discipline, and a clean image.
Mabrey? This is what Marina Mabrey said when she went to Connecticut, by the way. Being a part of a team like this that is so disciplined with a championship mindset, I haven't been a part of that yet. Remember, she was traded to the Sun just back in July. But now,
in a twist that feels both ironic and a little hard to ignore, Marina now finds herself searching for a way onto a new roster. The move comes off as part desperation, part strangely relatable, and even a bit entertaining to watch. It's the beginning of a slide that plays out like a perfectly scripted chain of missteps.
She was left holding the bag because, you know, she's on that team. She wanted to be there. And once she got there, a couple months later, the head coach is gone. Again, the head coach is gone. All five of your starters are gone. Not just your point guard, not just your shooting guard, not just your small forward, not just your power forward, not just your center. All five are gone. So that veteran presence that have won championships before, gone. That head coach that was on the verge of winning a championship as a head coach, gone. And Marina Mabrey is looking like, I know this didn't just happen to me. I know this did not just happen to me. And yes, indeed, Marina Mabrey, it did. Because sometimes the grass is...
After that now infamous laugh, the story quickly spread across the league like wildfire. Suddenly, every gym, locker room, and practice floor seemed to echo with reminders of her situation. Even teammates and rivals couldn't fully hide their reactions, with many quietly pointing out the irony. At the same time, Marina was reaching out to other teams in hopes of a fresh start. But those calls, one after another, reportedly went unanswered.
Forget all of the events that transpired last year with her and Caitlin Clark, and then she refused to own up to what she did. What organization?
Her attempts to reach out on social media mostly resulted in nothing more than polite, sympathetic replies. Meanwhile, the memory of that laughter still seems to echo through the corridors of the Connecticut Sun organization, almost like a reminder that won't fade. It feels as though fate is working against her, turning the situation into its own kind of running joke. And as her urgency grows, so does the frustration from those who once tolerated her behavior, now watching it all unfold from a very different perspective.
think of teams that can afford her. Like, just salary cap wise, she is on a $200K contract. It's not a max, but it's a $200K contract.
So I am just clicked on the NBA standings, not the WNBA standings. My bad. So if we look at the teams, the Valkyries could sign her, but that's a rebuilding team. The Liberty do not have the cap space. The Lynx.
Her future now hangs in uncertainty, surrounded by lingering echoes of controversy and regret. And as the story deepens, attention shifts to another name drawn into the same spotlight, Chennedy Carter. Together with Marina Mabrey, the two have become a heavily discussed pairing, both trying to move beyond the noise of their controversial pasts. Both players have faced criticism for their past comments and interactions surrounding Caitlin Clark, and in the eyes of many fans, every moment of success and attention Clark receives only seems to amplify the tension that follows them. Whether fair or not, the narrative has taken on a life of its own. One where talent, criticism, and public perception continue to collide under the brightest lights.
Will be free agents next year. There's a lot of other going on that players are like, this ain't where I want to be.
As speculation continues to grow and teams reassess their rosters, Marina's urgent push to leave the Connecticut Sun is becoming harder to ignore. Her search for a new landing spot is starting to feel increasingly uncertain, like trying to get a signal in the middle of a storm. At the same time, Chennedy Carter finds herself in a similar position, facing the same kind of uncertainty. Together, their stories are being viewed as parallel journeys, two players trying to break free from the weight of past controversies and rebuild what comes next.
Cheryl Swoops, if you see Cheryl Swoops, she did a lot of talking a few months ago about the Indiana Fever, the locker room environment, how people didn't want to play there, how people wanted to leave. Stephanie White came in and said, okay, hold up. Let me go to Indeed.com and Indeed get some free agents to come in here that want to play, that are accomplished, seasoned veterans. She did all.
With every passing day, the gap widens between those celebrated for their success and those left fighting for opportunities on the outside looking in. Marina Mabrey and Chennedy Carter find themselves on the fringes of the league, trying to steady their place as questions and criticism continue to follow their names. They're working to re-establish themselves in a league that seems less forgiving of past controversy. For them, the phones appear to stay quiet, no clear answers, no steady direction. While on the other side, the Indiana Fever are assembling something entirely different. A rising powerhouse built piece by piece, almost like a modern-day Avengers roster, with every new addition feeling bigger than the last. It almost looks like the Fever's front office has discovered a formula others are still trying to decode. Even Cheryl Swoops once questioned whether top talent would truly flock to Indiana. Yet here we are, watching that prediction get rewritten in real time as history unfolds.
A vet, a professional like Sydney Colson, and then you also have a vet like DeWanna Bonner, and you also have a vet like Kelsey Mitchell, and then you have Cece and Aaliyah Boston and Lexi and the MAGA Barbie, and isn't Katie Lou still on your team too? So, I mean, shout out to the Indiana Fever, but it's clear that this is a scheme that Todd set up to get.
With Caitlin Clark lighting up the scoreboard and completely reshaping what dominance looks like on the court, more and more teams are eager to connect themselves to her rising influence. Her impact has become so powerful that even Marina Mabrey's earlier pleas now feel overlooked, as if her past decisions have quietly cornered her with fewer options left. It's a sharp reminder that in professional sports, opportunity often follows confidence, discipline, and the willingness to rise above distractions. In the end, it's not just talent that leaves a mark, it's character, consistency, and how you carry yourself when the spotlight is brightest. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark continues to be the center of attention, pulling the league forward while the Indiana Fever transform into one of the most exciting rising forces in the WNBA. With every new addition and every win, they're reshaping the competitive landscape in real time. For teams built on vision and unity, momentum keeps building, but for others, the fallout of past choices becomes harder to escape. Marina Mabrey, once viewed as a rising presence, now finds herself on the outside looking in as her attempts to move on from the Connecticut Sun reportedly go unanswered. It's a clear divide between momentum and stagnation, between those rising with the league's evolution and those struggling to keep pace. And as the WNBA continues to grow, Caitlin Clark stands at the forefront of that change, while Marina's future remains uncertain in its shadow.